From today, many Indian-made goods landing in the United States will be slapped with an extra 25% tariff.
The US imposed a 25% import tax earlier this month because of what the administration sees as an unfair trading relationship between the two. Now it's doubled the rate as punishment for buying oil from Russia.
The 25% tariff imposed because of India's purchase of Russian oil comes on top of an earlier 25% levy. As a result, many Indian exports to the US, such as clothing, jewelry, footwear, sporting goods and chemicals, are now facing a 50% tariff.
The President of the United States unexpectedly declared he was increasing tariffs on a country that is a lifelong ally as well. President Trump said that import duties on Indian goods would double to 50%. He cited India's ongoing purchases of Russian oil in violation of Western sanctions on Moscow as justification for this extreme measure. He argued that America must react to what he sees as India undercutting U.S. foreign policy because India is one of the biggest importers of Russian oil, second only to China. The relationship with New Delhi has been thrown off balance by this sudden trade barrage, and policymakers everywhere are rushing to consider the consequences. The Prime Minister. In response to Trump's economic assault, Narendra Modi has already declared that India will not compromise under duress, paving the way for a crucial confrontation. Please click the like button before we start. It enables us to outperform the YouTube algorithm. Millions of Americans are currently experiencing a nightmare scenario as a result of this trade dispute. India retaliated, and the United States has lost over $87 billion in trade agreements in the 30 days since the tariff announcement. Families were forced to pay 20–40% more for life-saving drugs as a result of the breakdown of vital medical supply systems. One of the worst economic backlash in the history of modern trade was brought on by this Washington decision. This is not your typical trade dispute. It has developed into a full-fledged economic conflict, and each day the crossfire catches people. The shock is already being felt by households across the country. Once affordable things have suddenly become pricey, and even necessities are becoming more and more scarce every week. Please click the subscription button before we proceed. It greatly aids in the channel's expansion. President Trump's single word has sparked a trade response that has never been seen before. Ironically, when services are taken into account, America sells more to India than it purchases. Thus, this tariff battle is eroding one of the country's most profitable trading partnerships. Families all around the country are currently bearing the consequences. Analysts calculate the typical U.S. due to this conflict, households will pay roughly $300 extra, and the U.S. economy could reduce by as much as 8%. In response, India launched a concerted economic offensive that is already changing international trade. The biggest democracy in the world isn't flinching. Indeed, India's next move has the potential to completely alter our understanding of global commerce. Later in this movie, we shall disclose the complete extent of that reaction. In August, June 6, 2025, many now consider President Trump's trade move to be the most disastrous of his presidency, shocking onlookers. He declared that in response to what he called India's unfair trade practices, tariffs on Indian goods will double from an already high 25% to an astounding 50%. This was no ordinary trade dispute. In actuality, it was an economic